God afterwards. He's a praying man.
Was it significant that he would not eat until he had told them what his mission was?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, you're right.
Because he said, before we sat down to eat or something in that manner, I want you to know what my mission is. And
Yeah.
then that they didn't sit down to eat until after he had told them.
Maybe because if they had said no, he had a skedaddle. You know, I don't know.
I took it as like the imperativeness. No, we can't eat right now. It's not about
Oh,
niceties.
okay.
There you go.
I have this mission, and you guys
Okay.
have to know that I'm going to be taking Rebecca.
Probably.
Yep.
No,
That's really, I think that's really.
That's a good explanation.
He stated his purpose. You know, I'm not here just to visit. I'm here to take a woman home from my master, the right woman. Good point.
My
Very
book
good
says his speech, which summarizes the narrative of the earlier part of the chapter, is an excellent example of ancient storytellers' art.
point. Oh,
So you're right. That's what they did. They told the story verbal and again and again.
And sometimes they added a few more details once in two sometimes. Maybe they said, oh, maybe we could put this in, we forgot this or something, or
Yeah.
thought of something
It's-
else to add.
It's one of the longer chapters, 66 verses.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Probably because it says it's designed to fix our detail in the story every time we hear it. You know, so.
And what do we see in verse 50? What does that tell us? So this comes after the servant restates his purpose and how it happened. How.
As the Lord directed.
Mhm.
It wasn't their decision to make, because God already made it.
Yep, God's already made it. God provided the right woman for the process, and we can't say anything. Here's Rebecca, take her and go.
Pretty fortunate man to have a woman that God picked out for you.
Yep. Yep.
And he gave her clothes.
And gifts to her brother and her mother.
Mhm. He also gave costly gifts to her brother and her mother. Nothing to the father.
I don't think the father was there, was he?
No, he was. See in verse 50, Laban is the brother, and Bethuel is the father.
I was
Oh.
wondering who Laban was.
Yeah.
You notice it's not mom and dad who's saying.
Yeah.
She, you know, whether or not she can go, it's the brother and the
Mhm.
dad.
The two men of the household.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Just the way things were.
It's not like that in my house.
No, you're pretty outnumbered.
Yeah. Yeah.
So verse 50 shows us that this is a religious household too. That they realize based on Eliezer's story that God had his hand in this. And that these two guys, they just need to back away and let it happen.
So this was the first time that Isaac was mentioned since the sacrifice. Not much was said in there about him.
Mm-hmm. He's just kind of hanging in the background. He's not very important yet. Not yet.
Did you ever decide how old you thought Isaac was at the time of that sacrifice, supposed sacrifice? Did we ever determine whether he was 13, teenage, or 30? Somebody was...
He was older. Gary, you found somewhere that he was in his 30s?
About 30s, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought mine said 13.
Hmm.
But I don't know why.
Okay.
I never.
Because one of the versions I listened to, he comes across as a young boy, but you know, to carry all the wood up
Uh-huh.
and not to question.
Yeah.
Older he got, he probably knew what was up.
Yeah. He's not going to question his father.
While we're on that, I was always kind of thinking that he was up to be stabbed in the chest, but a sacrifice would be where they cut the veins in the neck. I didn't pick that up when I read it.
Yeah, because we always think of just a stabbing motion, like into the heart or something. But in all the sacrifices, as we'll see in Leviticus, it's usually pretty humane.
One of the places I
So-
read, yeah.
If he was 30, and he's 37 when Sarah died, and he's 40 when this is all taking place, so it really wasn't that long of a time in between there, was it? From the sacrifice? From,
I was thinking.
Well-
I don't know, I
About-
always thought he was younger. I did too, I thought he was,
About 7 years. If he's in his 30s, the time of the sacrifice to Sarah died, that was 7 years.
and then
And
another
then 3 more years. So a couple of years went by.
Someday we'll find out.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
and you know, he's gonna say, what difference does it make?
Yeah.
The bottom line is,
Exactly right. Jesus had to come down and save
the
you
bottom
guys.
line is, Donna Joe, quit questioning him.
We've played too much Trivial Pursuit in life.
Yeah, but you know, he didn't give us those details, but there's enough details in here for us to ask questions. There's gotta be some reason. What else do we have here in chapter 24?
Well, I thought it was interesting. She covered her face with the veil when she saw that it was going to be Isaac coming toward them.
Mhm.
When the servant said, "That's Isaac, my master." I thought that was interesting.
Modesty.
Yeah.
Is that a tradition that they did?
It must
That-
be.
Were they all veiled
Not
at that time?
anymore. Well, what that means is she was showing her acceptance of Isaac as her husband. If it was just any other guy, she wouldn't have cared. But she's going to cover herself up probably until the wedding night now. That she wants it to be a little bit special.
Well, actually, the wedding night was that night. Because then Isaac brought her into the tent of his mother, Sarah, and he married Rebecca. So she became his wife, and he loved her. So, I mean, it was like, here's your wife. Okay, let's do it. You know, just, there was
He
like.
married her.
Yeah, I know he married her, but it was just like, so wham bam, here we go. It was just like,
This isn't the first time that it talks about that, though, that as soon as you had relations with a man, then you became married. That was,
mm-hmm.
as soon as you have relations, that's it, you're married.
So is there like
It
a
wasn't a matter of saying vows.
ceremony or an
Right.
actual?
Or
It doesn't
vows.
say that he
ceremony
did.
or exchanging vows, or just the
Uh-uh.
fact that he took her to his mother's tent and she became his wife?
Right.
Yep.
Well, with Mary and Joseph, the commitment was long before really things happened.
They were betrothed.
Yeah,
Yep.
much more different.
Yeah, a little bit different here.
It was just a quick wedding. No party, no planning,
And-
no.
Yeah,
Reception,
and no
rehearsal
wedding.
supper.
No, it was
No.
just, here you go.
Right?
And then my last one says, and so Isaac was comforted after his mother's death.
Yeah, so,
I thought that was interesting, you know.
yeah,
That they put,
he is a mommy's boy.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I took him 4 years to have another female in his life.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
shows the importance of females. He was
Right.
mourning for 3 to 4 years for his
Yeah.
mom until he
Mhm.
finally had another female in his life, and then he was like, "Oh, okay, I can let her go." And
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
true, that's
you
true.
know,
That was
it's
a,
my life.
I thought that was interesting.
And also, one of the commentaries said that taking her to his mother's tent was very important, because now she became the matriarch. Sarah is gone,
so Rebecca became the,
Rebecca becomes the matriarch now.
Gotcha.
And she takes over the line.
Becomes the mother of the generation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, the mother of the generations. And it's important that he loved her, because it started out as an arranged marriage, but it turned into love. Because we can see the process here. She became his wife, and then he loved her. So, part of the process. And then he was comforted after his mother's death, because he had another woman in his life.
Probably a pretty fancy tent.
Probably pretty huge, yeah.
and it was still there. They didn't take it down.
Right, not yet. Isaac stayed there and waited for them, and maybe in the future they'll tip off.
So he was a nomad, it'd be interesting to figure out how often he moved.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They'd, pack it up.
Didn't they
And,
move when they needed more food for their sheep and camels and everything? That's probably when they had
Plan on staying
moved.
there?
To be known later.
Because
Yeah.
he bought land, buried his wife.
Well, they would always come back to bury the family.
but maybe
But,
Abraham was getting too old to move
Could be.
Yeah.
because he was
He
120.
dies in the next chapter, so.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
You
Oh,
just ruined it for everybody.
Well, it says.
spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert.
That's what the title says.
I know.
He takes another wife before he dies.
How old is he when he?
Yeah, he was
No.
a-
Yeah, he's not dead yet.
He's old, he's not dead.
Kind of could be like Jacob, doesn't he?
And,
Kind
well,
of.
and look, and should I get a little bit more spoilers?
Yeah, just go ahead.
All right, so Abraham takes another wife. Her name was Keturah, and she bore him Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishak, and Shua. So they had a couple more kids.
Oh, so he was he was fine. He
100
was
and some years old and everything still
he was
works.
the father of the country.
But, well, that's what God promised them, you know.
Making more nations. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what he was doing.
I'm still working at
Well, that's
50.
some years anyway.
Yeah, he lived to be 175. Holy
He lived
cow!
quite a bit longer,
Oh.
yeah.
48.
Yeah.
48.
Had to consult your phone for that?
I was thinking what year it was.
Okay, we can turn it off now.
Okay, all right. Next week, let me just review. It's
Okay.
going to be chapters 25 and 26, right?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.